What's the Scooby Doo? We're coming after you. We're gonna solve that mystery. I see you, Scooby Doo. We're coming after you. What's the Scooby Doo? Don't hold back. You may find another clue. The Scooby Snacks will be waiting here for you. What's the Scooby Doo? They're gonna follow you. We're gonna solve that mystery. I see you, Scooby Doo. The trail leads back to you. What's the Scooby Doo? Na 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 na. What's the Scooby Doo?
Jinkies, do we have another review?
Awesome. Thank you for an amazing intro. My awesome co-host, Coffee Rain. What's up? What's up?
Hello, Buttery Show. It's been a long time, but I'm back.
Yes, he's back. He's back to get Scooby Snacks. Just kidding. So, hey guys, welcome to our
Scooby Snacks.
Let me put myself in the middle. So, welcome guys. Welcome to another podcast, episode of the Buttery Show or podcast. For today, we're discussing Scooby Doo 2: Monsters Unleashed. So, we actually did review the first movie that was actually last week, or actually, no, it was 2 weeks ago. So, you want to look at that previous podcast? It was me, Jacqueline, and my good co-host Jacqueline and Leonard. So, be sure to watch that. And now we're finally discussing the sequel to one of the most popular. Well, not most popular, but basically the popular film based on the top iconic TV series and anime TV series. And I'll say this film is way better than the predecessor, and it's legit. I'll say this right now: this film is the perfect love letter to Scooby Doo, the franchise in general. So, kudos to James Gunn for doing it again, and Rob Cosnell. Yeah, so thank you for giving it. Hey, watching this today, it still holds up. It still holds up to this day.
Thank you.
So before we start, joining me will be my co-host Mike, aka Vanilla Lightning and Coffee Rain. What's up? What's up?
Lightning only happens when it's raining.
So you guys do. So how are you guys doing so far? How's your Monday so far?
My Monday's good. Besides from jury duty, I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, I got to hit the gym and I got this. So,
Nice. So, well, for me, it was a good Monday. I'm currently studying for something, but so hopefully, cross your fingers. But anyway, yeah, let's get this podcast started. So, Scooby Doo Monsters Unleashed. This film came out in 2004. It starred Alicia Silverstone. Brought back the original main cast of the first Scooby Doo film. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Matthew Lillard, Linda Cardellini, and of course Freddie Prinze Jr. himself, aka Ezra, aka Kane. He's kidding. Another franchise, but you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so let's start it off. First, before we start this film, Coffee. What do you think of this film? Well, actually, no. The first question is, when did you first watch this film, and your reaction watching this? So, starting with Coffee.
Well, I was 2004. I was about like 9 years old when this movie came out, and I love Scooby Doo. I love Scooby Doo. My kids love Scooby Doo, and growing up, I felt like, hey, if they can solve mysteries, that's what got me into thinking, hey, I can solve mysteries too. Like not like big. Not like that mysteries, but getting into try to solve like the mystery of Bigfoot, Loch Ness monster, stuff like that. But like I said, I was maybe 9. I saw this in theaters, and my initial reaction when I was a kid, I'm just sitting there, popcorn in hand, my jaw dropped, and I'm just like, Mom, I want to see it again. Can we see it again, please?
Okay. How about you? Oh, you have more to say?
And then I was saying years later, I introduced my children to Scooby Doo, and they love it as well. Awesome. Got to teach them young, people. You got to teach them young.
Exactly. How about you, Vanilla?
Well, I'll say this. I was like growing up, I was not as big on Hanna-Barbera cartoons compared to the '90s Cartoon Network shows, but I think Scooby Doo was definitely like the one Hanna-Barbera show that I eased into the most before spreading out to the Flintstones and the Jetsons and the Wacky Racers. Um, and I grew to like it because of the whole like solving mysteries because I like Sherlock Holmes. And yes, because I'm a big fan of Harry Houdini, he was the original Scooby Doo, where they just like Harry Houdini would like unmask like all these like fake psychics and fake ghosts as just like some person trying to do a Ponzi scheme and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and of course over time I saw like a pup named Scooby Doo, Scooby and Scrappy, 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo. I still haven't seen like the new movie where they conclude that one, but I'll say this: unlike the first movie, I did see this one in theaters, and like seeing all those classic monsters come back, like Captain Cutler, Miner 49er, even Chickenstein from a pup named Scooby Doo. Like Chickenstein is from a pup named Scooby Doo, and that was like the wackiest version of Scooby Doo. And I love that like everything in Scooby Doo, thanks to this movie, is all canon. And then they continue it with What's New Scooby Doo.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Needless to say, I love this movie, and you're right, it is a love letter. And I still like this movie more than the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, watching it this morning was actually the first time I saw it since watching it in theaters. So the hold up test that really I was more critical of, and it still holds up. Oh, and I do have the soundtrack.
Don't wanna think about you, think about nothing.
Me.
Don't wanna
talk this one out.
Don't wanna think about you, think. I'm done. Okay.
Like
don't
Leo
get-
and I, like
You know you're
2
not
years
done.
ago, had this like argument over the fact that Blink 182 may have won the zeitgeist, but Simple Plan will always be the timeless of the two bands.
Yes.
Oh.
Now, yeah, I'll just say this, guys. The soundtrack for this film is really good. It really goes. We even have Amy Puppy Yumi in this film.
Yeah, Puffy.
Amy Puppy. I can't say it right.
Yeah, it's just called Puffy.
Puppy. I mean,
It's just that when they brought it to the U.S., for legal reasons they had to localize their names to Puffy Ami Yumi because there's an American band also called Puffy, and they don't want people to get confused.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But the official Japanese name of the band is Puffy, and they have done a lot of collabs with other amazing bands like Tokyo Ska Paradise Orchestra. But I digress.
Question.
Friends forever.
Question. Didn't Ami and Yumi did the Teen Titans theme song?
Yes, they did. And they had their own cartoon they also had their own cartoon series on Cartoon Network where Yumi was voiced by Gray Delisle, whom we've met, and Kaz was voiced by Kyung, who did the voice of Storm Shadow. So, Ryan and I, we got to meet 2 out of the 3 main cast members of Puffy Ami Yumi. Who did the voice of Ami, though?
Hey guys, question: am I buffering because I'm trying to
No, you're good.
I'm sorry, I'm checking.
You're good on my end.
Thanks, because I'm checking YouTube and so I'm on my phone checking YouTube. Okay, it's perfect. Okay, there we go. Now I'll go. Sorry guys, just checking for Wi-Fi issues. But yeah, now of course, now that's the soundtrack. But of course, you have to talk about the movie itself. Yes. Now, Monsters Unleashed. In this movie, we have almost all of the iconic monsters of the early Hanna-Barbera series era of Scooby Doo. We have the Black Knight Ghost. We have the Miner 49er. Yeah, we have Captain Cutler. We have the zombie again. What was the zombie again?
Just a swamp zombie. He's just
swamp zombie.
Yeah.
And also
we also have the Tar Monster, the 10,000 volt ghost.
The 10,000 volt ghost was from the sequel series, the Scooby Doo show.
Yeah. We have the Skeletal Man. I'm actually surprised Skeletal Man is here, which actually were technically like the slapsticks. I like it. We have what else we have here?
The pterodactyl ghost.
The pterodactyl ghost, which is, I'm glad they they brought that ghost. I actually liked that ghost as a kid, and coincidentally, it's actually one of the main monsters in the film.
It is.
And we have, of course, the Cotton Candy Club. Glob.
Mhm.
Cotton Candy Club. Glob. Who else we have here? We have a lot of monsters.
We got the tar. Wait, did we mention the tar monster, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we mentioned Tar Monster.
Minor 49er.
49er.
Yeah.
Trying to look right now. Look at the monsters in this list. We have Pterodactyl Ghost. We have the Black Knight Ghost. Green Knight Skeleton. We have yeah. Oh, yeah. Basically, that's pretty much it. Yeah, we got everything.
Yeah, I will say this. I'm a huge fan of the '90s trilogy Scooby Doo. So in a way, I would like to say that this is the closest we'll ever get to a live action version of Scooby Doo and the Cyber Chase, because there was a scene where the Scooby Gang had to fight against old monsters like the Tar Monster, the Gator Ghoul, Jaguaro. And the fact that these monsters come back. It felt reminiscent of that.
Yeah, exactly. It also shows James Gunn's great writing because, you could tell he's a fan of Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
You could, yes. The thing is, even though the film does have flaws and problems, we can't, we have to agree with that. We can't deny that. But thing is, how it was written and how he gave tribute to the series in the back in the basically this was James Gunn's real baby for Scooby Doo. So that's why I'm glad that this movie exists. Now,
thank you, James Gunn.
Now here's my question: what was your favorite scene in this film? Starting with Coffee Rain.
Oh,
I have one. I know what's mine, but yeah.
I have a list of my all-time favorite scene. Freddy versus the Black Knight Ghost on the motorcycle while Dead and Alive by Bon Jovi was playing. I'm like, thank you. Thank you.
Can you explain why?
Because it's with Freddy, he's the leader, he's the leader of the gang. And it's he's like, yo, you guys go handle this. I'm gonna handle this dude right here. Don't worry about me. And then all of a sudden you hear Dead and Alive by Bon Jovi playing. That amps up everything even more. And watching it now as an adult, it has more because I grew up with Bon Jovi. It has more of a significance now because it's okay, you see, yeah, he's dead or basically for me is in the words of RoboCop, dead or alive, you coming with me. That's my favorite scene.
Awesome. Okay. Same question, Mike.
Wow.
Well, vanilla.
How do I even pick a favorite scene? Because there's so many good ones in this movie. I mean, in the first movie, I could just say, oh, it's a part where Daphne's fighting that luchador because it shows Daphne's no longer a victim. But man, this movie is a lot harder. There's so many scenes I like. I'm just gonna quickly gloss through them. For example, you got the museum scene where they're just where they're going through all these monsters in their past, because it's you're showing the legacy of the Mr. Ink before before they became super famous. It shows the love for the various TV shows and sequels and prequels and midquels. Then there's the scene where they're all lamenting their own flaws because none of the members of the team are perfect. There's the scene where Scooby and Shaggy are at the bar with the Black Knight Ghost because he's maybe the way I went is not the way. Basically, Emil Blonsky. He had an Emil Blonsky scene, if you've ever seen She-Hulk. But ultimately, it comes down to, I have to agree with Mike. My favorite scene was when they were breaking off one at a time to fight each of the monsters, and you got Freddy fighting the Black Knight, you got Daphne fighting the 1,000-volt ghost. And I'm gonna be honest, I feel like Amazing Spider-Man 2 kind of was inspired by that scene. And ultimately, Scooby and Shaggy were the heroes. And yes. I love that because throughout the whole movie, they felt like they were incompetent.
Yeah.
My favorite scene has to be the the reveal of the evil masked figure.
Yeah.
Like the museum scene, because the thing is, it sets up the tone for this film. Because keep in mind, like, I'll say this film is dark, surprisingly dark, which I liked. This much had stakes. And well, the first one also had stakes, global, but this one, actually no, this film did have stakes, but it was more to a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like that. It's basically, this film was like an Empire Strikes Back to Scooby Doo. There was a third film that actually was canceled. There was actually a third film that was going to be announced. I can tell this was supposed to be because the first film we got to introduce the characters, right? It's their own original story. This one I felt was more personal. Because the thing is, we saw there's scenes where we saw backstories of the mystery gang when they're still teenagers.
Yeah.
Well, technically they are teenage, but they're young adults. But going back to the museum scene, you got the evil masked figure, right? The pterodactyl goes wrecking havoc. Basically, Scooby and Shaggy becoming, they're doing their mess up again. Velma and Daphne and Fred doing what they do best. But the evil masked figure is like introduction. I was like, oh damn, this is scary. Come on, like when I first watched it, I didn't watch this film in theaters, by the way. I watched this in a VHS tape.
Oh,
but yeah, okay, my first film was Revenge of the Sith. I watched it in theaters. But when I watched this, I was like, oh crap, that guy is scary. Like scary and threatening. And his voice too. His voice was scary and threatening. It's like, damn. And the fact that he can control all these monsters and made them alive. Basically, this film became like Zombies Island. You can make them alive again. So like little nods. I'm like, damn, this film is scary. Well, this kid's film, but this film. As a kid's like, this film is scary, but good scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I guess what I liked. But it has to be the museum scene because it showed everything: the stakes, the tone, introduction to the villain properly, and also all the monsters being shown. It basically the whole museum scene in general, not just the introduction, the scene in general. That's my favorite scene of the movie. Now there's another thing. Now also, let me ask. My next question is, how do you think they handled the legacy of these monsters? Starting with Coffee Rain.
Me personally, I think they handled the legacy of these monsters really, really well. Because here's the thing, like you said, I think that James Gunn was a Scooby Doo fan.
Mm-hmm.
So being a director and everything else, he did his research, and I think he did his research very well.
Oh, Gotham. Well, James Gunn. Wait, no, Ra Gosling was the director of this film. Was it? Was it Ra Gosling?
Hold on.
Was it Raha? I think it was because James Gunn was a writer. Who was the
Well,
director?
I apologize then. If I'm wrong.
Oh wait, it's Ra Gosling. Yeah, James Gunn wrote this film.
I'm sorry I'm sorry. I apologize, but still, as a writer, director, or anything else, you got to do your research, and James Gunn did his research.
Yeah, I could tell he's a real fan too, because the little nods to this film too from the I could tell like the little cameo nods. I'm like, yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Exactly.
now Vanilla, your same question.
Okay, so what can I not say? First of all, again back to the museum scene. I love that they acknowledged monsters from so many different Scooby Doo shows, not just what's Scooby Doo, Where Are You, but also the Scooby Doo show, a pup named Scooby Doo, maybe a bit of Scooby and Scrappy. There were a lot of Scooby Doo shows between then and now. And I do find it interesting that because they are effectively now real ghosts, they have these quirks that their original forms previously didn't have. Like, for example, like the tar monster, yeah, he looks like a monster, but the thing is, it still maintained like a mostly humanoid form because it's a person in a mask. Now that it's a real tar monster, it can go into a completely liquid form and maintain its sentience. And of course, like the first time they go into the mansion, you got Daphne having a sword fight with the Black Knight ghost, and the Black Knight's just like standing there, like resting while just his hand is having the sword fight. The real Black Knight ghost previously would not be able to do that because it was a guy in a mask. Now it isn't, and I love how they were able to like crank these legacy monsters to an 11. It's like what they did with like Johnny and Daniel in Cobra Kai.
Yeah. So even the Captain Cutler ghost was, again, the main focus of these ghosts were, of course, Black Knight, Pterodactyl, and Tar Monster.
Mhm.
But even though some of these monsters had little time to shine, they got they had their time to. They had basically they were memorable. Because look at the 1,000-volt ghost. He was dangerous. You had to legit use something to kill him. Captain Cutler, legit creepy. He's like he goes out of the water. It's and I like it's like homage to the remember the show the opening intro where he comes out of the water. I was like yes, and then again the swamp monster. Actually, no, to be honest, the swamp monster kind of was underwhelming in this film. Well, no, you can say, but the thing is, because he's one of the OG monsters, I was like expecting him more stuff to do, but maybe that's. But honestly, H monster, even though some of them had a little screen time, I still liked it. My only nitpick is the skeletal men were kind of overused a lot in this film, a little bit too much.
Yeah,
I kind of want to see more of more like I kind of want to see more of honestly Black Knight, because he was the first monster in Scooby Doo.
He was.
Yeah.
I'll say this: the swamp monster ghost. Like I would say, like he's kind of he feels like Chris Evans in Thor 2.
Yeah, because the thing is, I remember the swamp because my first Scooby Doo episode was the swamp monster, and that was one of the earliest episodes of Scooby Doo. Captain Cutler, of course, I remember, but Tar Monster I do remember, but Pterodactyl was kind of put in this. I don't really remember him. I did. You know what? There's one monster I kind of wish they put in here.
Which one?
Remember the Phantom?
Oh wait, you mean the Phantom Shadow?
Yeah, that Shadow. That would have been great. But things, dude, as a kid, that scared the shit out of me.
Poor old cousin Simba.
Oh Lord.
And then he was the kind of man. But that, what if you put that in? Well, maybe it was a little, maybe budget wise, but I was hoping they actually put that in the movie. But
I mean, I would have loved it if they put in the creeper, but I feel like they did not include him because he didn't look supernatural enough compared to the other monsters.
Yeah.
You really think so?
Mm-hmm. The creeper. Hey, at least you got the morning the 949er.
Yeah.
So
and made him look even creepier than they did in the show.
Yes. Now another thing too is, basically all these monsters were done right. I mean, well, some but done right to the purpose that they did their purpose. So let me put that. Another I want to mention is we got to mention the club scene. That is like, I don't know, like I know like my favorite scene is the museum, but I love the club scene when Shaggy and Scooby basically want to do their investigation and then legit check out all this club, but technically it's a club for all the villains they unmasked.
Oh my gosh! Honestly, and you're gonna laugh. The scene that was funny to me. I know you guys can agree with me when Velma was getting ready with her date with Patrick.
Oh yeah,
I'm just looking like
daddy.
I'm just like I'm like. I think that's my. I think.
Who's your mommy? Who's your mommy?
My mommy.
I think that's where my crush for Velma developed. I'm sorry. I know. Listen.
I'll say Linda Cardellini is a beautiful woman.
She is.
Yes.
She is. She still is now. She still is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like I'm sorry. When I saw that, when she said, "Who's your mommy?" I'm just like,
hey, only James Gunn can give you hot Velma. Okay.
Thank you.
You know what's funny? Like you know what's funny in Scooby Doo, the first movie. They deleted a scene where she was legit in the lingerie.
Yeah, she was in a swimsuit and she's like doing like she's doing the monkey and then yeah, and then like Daphne's like, wait a minute, you don't act this way, and she's like, like Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
I'm gonna need to look this up real quick.
Yeah, it's
I also
deleted
love
scene.
I also love that other deleted scene where like she's like where like she's singing the Frank Valli song, and then Rowan Atkinson's like, should we tell her that there's no alcohol in her drink?
Yeah. Well, yeah, she was in love.
Mhm.
But let's go. Love can make you do things. That's actually true. But going forward to the scene. Now, let's talk about the characters individually. Now, Scooby and Shaggy, they were the main characters in the movie.
They were.
Like I'll say this, in the first movie, I felt that. Oh, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. The first time I felt that Daphne was more of a main character. I did because like she did the mystery. She did the she was like I don't know, like I can feel that she wanted to prove herself and she did. So I felt that
Yeah.
she was the central character. This film I feel that it's Scooby and Shaggy because they had lots of stuff to prove. Because they're technically like what's it was kind of funny as like there's a scene. Oh, actually no, let's go forward. So Scooby and Shaggy. What are your thoughts on Scooby and Shaggy in this film? Starting with Michael.
Oh, 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 oh. Let's go, Scooby. Let's go, Shaggy. Let's go, Scooby. Let's go, Shaggy. Finally, like for the first film, they didn't really give Scooby and Shaggy that chance to shine, you know. But in this one, Scooby and Shaggy did the investigating. They went undercover, and they actually were the ones to save the day. So that's why I'm just like, you know what? Bravo, Scooby and Shaggy. Bravo. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So for me, it's like that scene from Power Rangers RPM when Tanai asks, red's the leader, green's the clown, black is the brooding bad boy, and yellow is the girl. Who are you supposed to be? Like that's basically what it felt like. And I this applies to both Scooby and Shaggy and the conversation with Daphne, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But yeah, it's like what do Scooby and Shaggy contribute to the team? Because Fred's the leader and he makes the Rube Goldberg traps. Daphne's the brains. No, sorry. Velma's the brains. Daphne's the muscle. What do Scooby and Shaggy do? And I do feel like they actually in this movie they finally actually got to contribute something. But it's also interesting. It's like by deviating for the rest of the team, they also kind of do more to mess up than help.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, like all of us are great because all of us are together. But yes, individually we do have things that we contribute to the rest of the squad, and I like how they emphasize that. And yes, I love that Scooby and Shaggy are like these masters of disguises that it's like a dance number just for people to figure out that they're Scooby and Shaggy. Like even though like Shaggy completely removed his costume, the old dude still didn't recognize him.
Old man Wickles.
Exactly.
But to be myself, I guess.
Like you really be myself.
It's Scooby Doo. It's Shaggy Rod. Where? Just kidding.
Yeah,
Anyway,
although
so-
I do wish they kept Einstein, Scooby, and roided out Shaggy though.
Oh my god. But so Shaggy and Scooby, I'll say this. They were the heart of the team. Like
Yeah.
I love the film doesn't tell you. You guys have to figure it out. But of course, if you guys figure it out, Shaggy and Scooby are the heart of the team. Like they're the glue that makes the team together.
They are.
Like look at Scooby Doo 1. Like they were the glue. Because remember, Velma, Daphne, and Fred still were like, we don't like you. Like we don't want to be together anymore because yeah. But Shaggy and Scooby like, come on, guys, come on, let's be together as a family. So they're the glue.
Yeah.
Shaggy and Scooby are the glue. They're the heart of the team. So without them, the team will like be
Fall apart. Yeah,
fall apart. So that's why.
that was also a theme in the movie Scoob.
They
That's
really
why
were.
without Shaggy and Scooby, they're the heart of the team.
I noticed that.
Yes, so that's why I like the fact that their Shaggy and Scooby was more focused in this film because keep in mind Shaggy was like it was more focused on Shaggy and Mary Jane, and Scooby
Yeah.
had to do his own thing. So I'm glad that I'm glad that this film they found like were able to focus on the relationship between Shaggy and Scooby. That so
Yeah.
kudos to James Gunn. So now let's talk about my favorite character in this. Even though he's not the main character, this person was my favorite character in the film. Oh my god, Daphne.
Oh God.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, you're so badass in this film. The Black Knight Ghost battle scene, that's still so badass. And she beat up the 10,000 volt ghost. Oh my god. But anyway, going forward, Daphne, starting with coffee.
Don't get me wrong. I like Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like she was one of my crushes, but they made Daphne in this one more. Even though yes she's a badass, they made her more superficial.
Yeah.
Especially with that scene when they were in the mansion when she was using, even though she was kind of using her smarts, she used her makeup to unlock the lock, and this was her. I enjoy being the girl. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Anything else you want to?
Come on, but it's just like come on. I understand. Yeah, she fought the Black Knight Ghost single handedly while Velma was looking for a weak point. I understand that, and that makes her a badass in her own right. But still, at least give her a little more brains.
Going to Vanilla.
I would have to disagree with you on that one because she
Oh.
showed that she had brains by doing that MacGyver thing with the makeup because yeah, like when people like leave a thumbprint, it leaves oil stains of the thumbprint, and if you apply the right amount of pressure in just the right way, like you could replicate the last thumbprint that was on the thing. This is an actually scientifically proven thing that Daphne knew how to do. And yes, she became a more capable fighter where she's actually like fighting off against the Black Knight and the Thousandfold Ghost. Like, and you know,
Pterodactyl Ghost.
Yeah, and the Pterodactyl Ghost. Yeah, and honestly, I feel like okay, like the advice you gave to Velma was not the best advice I would give because what may work for you may not work for someone else, like in terms of dating, but at least like her heart was in the right place where like she was trying to help Velma like get the guy, or like when Freddy was being slandered, she waltzed right out of the mystery machine to stand up for Freddy, where yes, we got the obligatory Power Rangers RPM I'm Scottish speech.
Scottish.
But at least like now it's like
Scottish.
But now Daphne is more than just Scottish. She is the team athlete now. She's now and forever the team athlete. She was a surfer in Aloha Scooby Doo. She was a skier in that one episode of What's New Scooby Doo. That's all thanks to these two films. She defeated a super-powered wrestler in the previous movie.
Mm-hmm.
Give the girl some credit. She's the new Steve Rogers. Except now in ginger.
Oh my gosh. So I'll say this. I have to disagree with you too, Coffee. I'll say this. Velma is book smart. Daphne's street smart. There's two differences. Street smart, yeah, you don't have the knowledge of books and anything out of the world, but you do have the knowledge of being like, that doesn't require books. Like street smart, like picking a lock, like learning how to do. It's like I'm going a little off topic here, but remember Series of Fortunate Events?
Yeah.
Like Violet, the main character, one of the three siblings, Violet. She is very book smart, but she doesn't know how to do think outside the box.
Yeah.
While Klaus, he knows how to think outside the box. And that's what I mean. Sorry. Klaus is the reader. He is book smart, but Violet thinks outside the box. That's why she does her thing.
And
that's even on that.
So that's why I can compare that to. So Velma is book smart. Like you need those kind of brains, book smart and intelligence you can get from school. I was like, okay, I think they both went to school, but intelligence from books and knowledge from you can learn. But Daphne, she learns it from doing other stuff like outside the box, like picking stuff. Like you can't learn that in school. And also doing karate, mastering yourself. You can learn from school, but it's up to you to master it. So see what I mean? So that's why Daphne is smart in her own way, and she's street smart. That's what I like about Daphne. And I like the fact that when Alicia Silverstone, spoiler alert, she's the main villain. She's like, "Oh, what do you like?" Fred's the leader, Velma's the brains, Shaggy and Scooby. Oh, I didn't think she said Shaggy and Scooby. I forgot what was that. I don't know.
She didn't say anything about Shaggy and Scooby.
Oh, but you're just a pretty little thing. And then oh, hell no, bitch.
Oh,
Like,
see, I'm sorry. When I saw that, me personally, I thought Daphne would have went like, okay, come here, we gonna fight now.
also what I like about is Daphne is more of the mom figure.
Yeah.
Like, and I can tell that she loves Fred a lot because she's defending Fred. That's true love right there. Like, hey, your girlfriend standing up for your boyfriend, so signing up for you. So kudos there when he's in his lowest points. So that's why Daphne's like the mom figure, while Shaggy and Scooby is the heart.
I really like what you said about the street smarts thing, because Darwin's theory of evolution, it's not about being strong or smart, it's about being able to adapt. Daphne's an adapter.
Yep.
Mhm.
Look at that. Look at the battle with the fat Black Knight Ghost. She adapted to her surroundings.
Yeah.
So now I have to go to let's go to Fred. I'll just say this. I'll be honest with you. Fred kind of was put in the downside in this film. Surprisingly, like in the first film he actually did more. This one I feel like he didn't really do much. Surprisingly, it was more like drive, plan, and that's it. Except the badass battle we had the Black Knight Ghost with his ascot.
Listen, I don't care what anyone has to say about this. And this is just my personal opinion. That this movie, honestly, if you really look at it, this movie kind of made Fred seem kind of like the how do I put this nicely? Made him like Daphne in the first film a little bit. And but that battle with the Black Knight Ghost, him on a motorcycle, I'm sorry, that was badass.
But Vanilla.
So, I like to separate different categories of acting from one another. Like, I like to separate physical acting from voice acting. So I want you to keep that in mind when I say this. As far as physical acting goes, like where like your face is shown and stuff, I would say this movie was probably Freddie Prinze Jr.'s best performance, in my opinion. I know you're gonna mention She's All Bad, but I feel like Chris Evans did that better. But no. Freddie, like Fred, he is less selfish in this movie compared to the previous one. Like, he loves his city, and the only reason he's mad, and like honestly, I did get the vibe that like when he was mad that he was being slandered. That's right, slandered, not libeled, because it was verbally defamed. When he was being slandered, it like what made him mad wasn't necessarily the fact that like his character's being assassinated, but rather that the character of his hometown is being assassinated. Like he loves Coolsville, and what hurts him is the fact that like anyone would ever insinuate that he doesn't love the city, rather than like you could say any bad thing about him, but don't you dare mention that. But don't you ever dare insinuate that I don't like the city.
Exactly.
Like Josuke Higashikata, his only weakness is someone insulting his hair.
I mean, I don't know. The thing is, this one, of course, Fred was the leader, but I don't know.
It didn't show it as much.
It didn't show as much.
Yeah.
Because in the first film, he did show it.
Really didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with you there.
Yeah, but I'll say this: he was very handsome. Freddie Prinze Jr. is handsome. But I like the fact that I like his blue sweater. And it's like, and it actually had ascot on. That was great.
Yeah, his hair looked better in this movie.
Yeah,
it really did. It really did.
But Fred, yeah, I mean, he was a leader. Again, his traps did not work.
Not at all.
But again, he did his job. I prefer Scooby Doo 1 Fred, but now we have to go to honestly, this in my opinion is the central character of this film. I know Scooby and Shaggy was the main characters, but in my opinion, this is the one that was a lot not focused on, but I feel that this was a turning point for a character. That I think this movie helped influence Velma going forward in the future adaptations. So Velma, surprisingly, in this movie was well developed. Like, you saw her insecurities, like the fact that you saw me so jealousy that she's jealous of Daphne. She's jealous of her teammates. She's jealous of Daphne because she's pretty. And she can get a boy or anyone. she's jealous of Scooby and Shaggy because they don't give a shit about anything. They just want to eat and have fun. While Fred is the handsome, go-getter. She has to like basically, like the introvert, insecure person.
Yeah.
I get that. That's why I like the part. Like I like the scene when, like, of course, Velma going on a date with a what's his name again?
Seth Green,
Seth Green's
aka
character.
Patrick.
Patrick. I liked it because, like, if she finally sees someone that she likes and she wants to go on a date, but she never went on a date. Honestly, I wish it was actually Shaggy and Velma, but well, that kind of happens. But anyway, that's another series to talk about. Aria. So the thing with Velma is, I could tell that solving the mysteries is like, I could tell her job is hard. Like she even mentions in the first film, like I'm not getting that much attention. But I can tell that solving mysteries, she does enjoy it, but I can tell that she wants something else than this. Like she wants to feel noticed, she wants to feel loved, but so I'm actually glad in the opening scene when they went to the premiere, everyone starts to love her and get autographs.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's great. But I can feel that she just wants someone in her life. So I'm glad Patrick's there. Same character. But yeah, honestly, going now, let me ask you this: what you thought of Velma?
Don't get me started on Velma. Don't get me started on Velma. I'm sorry. When I saw that, like I said, when I saw that scene where she was getting ready for her date with Patrick, that's where I'm just like, I think I have a crush on Velma.
Everyone got a crush on Velma in that scene. You're talking about. I started getting a crush on Velma.
No, I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, who's your mommy? Honestly, what? Don't kill me for this. Watching it now, when she says who's your mommy, I'm just like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything.
Who's your mommy?
I'm not gonna say
Who's
anything.
your mommy?
Let's solve a mystery.
I'm just like, oh Lord.
The mystery of Velma's missing relationship status.
Wow.
Those are continued copy, my bad. Oh yeah, are you done?
Yep, I'm done.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool. Vanilla.
Okay, so I feel like Velma's insecurities were briefly touched upon in the first movie, but not really expanded upon significantly to give her any closure or character growth like Daphne did in the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that they actually did more of that here. Not gonna lie, I'm a little upset that things didn't work out with that FBI agent from Zombie Island, but
Oh yeah.
but hopefully, his publication career took off like he said he would. Let's see. Yeah, I like that Velma got more focused here, and where like she does have like insecurities outside of like not being able to like she is the brains and doesn't get attention. But I do find it interesting that like her struggle here isn't the lack of attention, but the lack of intimacy.
Oh.
And like she doesn't have that special someone. Like you could say Scooby and Shaggy are each other's special someone, not in a romantic way, but like they neither would ever feel like they're gonna die alone if it's just the two of them. Daphne and Freddy have each other. Who does Velma have? And yeah, it's nice that she's got a bookworm. And I do find it interesting that like she had to like become more like Daphne to find out that she was liked just the way she was. It's like one of my favorite Kabuto quotes. Grandmother said this. It's okay to imitate others only if it means discovering your true self. Yeah, it's like in the end, Velma discovered that it's her true self that makes her so great, and it's her true self that Patrick liked so much.
Yeah, it's like, I'll just say this: when you like someone and you think they like you, just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please.
Going a little off topic, giving some relationship advice for here. If you like someone and you think they like you, just be yourself. Don't change who you are. Like if the girl likes you for who you are, not for who you're not. So don't try to change yourself. Don't listen to other people's social norms. Well, maybe don't be like trying to listen like, oh, you should know. Be yourself. And you never know, maybe you might get the girl you like.
Be yourself, please.
Just be yourself. That's all I can say. Just be yourself. And this person, like, look at Velma. She tried to be like Daphne, but Patrick did not like that. Patrick just wanted the actual Velma because she liked Velma as being smart and just being simple. And that's what Patrick liked about Velma. So I'm glad to become a couple in the end. Well, not really a couple. Started dating, but they kind of tease in the end they become a couple, but
Yeah.
don't worry, Shaggy and Velma gets their lives shine. Anyway, so that's Velma. Now let's talk about the main villain. Honestly, this is one of my, even though he's not canon in the cartoons or that never mentioned again. Well, you never get mentioned again. The evil masked figure. Oh my god, that was a great original villain. Now my complaint in the first film was really Scrappy Doo. We didn't really have another monster villain to yeah, well, that's Scrappy Doo, but I'm glad that James Gunn kind of did the concerns of the fans in the first film that we finally got an original evil villain in a Scooby Doo movie. And thank you, this villain was calculated. He was smart. He did not want to take over the world. He just wanted to take over. He just wanted to destroy the city that wronged him. Basically, it's like Thanos. Like he doesn't care about taking over the world. He just wants to He just wants to like destroy a city that wronged him. And his first targets were, of course, Mystery Inc. because they did wrong them bad.
Yeah.
So we guys find out the evil mask figure was a mastermind. He was actually a scientist. Before I thought he was a supernatural being, but we found he was a scientist. I love the fact that evil mask figure was actually a villain from the past in the Scooby Doo series, and he was actually Dr. Jonathan Jacobo because he's the only villain that can do this, like science-wise, make monsters out of his chemicals. So now we do find out that Alicia Silverstone was technically a villain.
Yep.
It was only nitpick is like, okay, why is she a reporter underneath? Well, we get, but that's like smart too because John and Jacobo knew that like, oh wait, if they figured me out, I'll just be a journalist, so they don't really figure. So he actually knew, but again, Velma used her wits.
He did.
And technically had an accomplice. So there's actually two villains. It's the accomplice. It was a camera guy, and it was John Jacobo as Lee Silverstone. So, going to Coffee Rain, your thoughts on the evil mask figures?
I love the evil mask figure. Like you said, it was an original. Excuse me. It was an original character, original villain, and the fact that they used not only spoiler alert that Heather Jasper Howe was actually Jonathan Jacobo, which was also the evil max figure. It was a twist, and I really loved that.
Okay, Vanilla.
Well, it was crazy because the pterodactyl ghost was actually one of the more obscure villains. Because when I first saw this, I was like, I don't remember him and Scooby Doo, Where Are You, or the Scooby Doo show, or Pup Named Scooby Doo. So, but turns out he was in the All-Star Laugh Olympics. That is one of the most obscure Scooby Doo shows out there. Yeah, and man, and yeah, so it's crazy that this seemingly random and obscure villain turns out to ends up becoming the main villain of this movie, because it's how do I put this? It's imagine if one of the random background Ewoks from Return of the Jedi turned out to be Emperor Snoke.
Oh,
or
that's how obscure it is.
Yeah, or you can say the villain wise, heck, even Greedo. It's your fault.
It's your fault.
Okay. Imagine if Greedo became the Emperor
God.
instead of Palpatine. That's how obscure we're talking.
I shot.
Oh God.
Anyway,
I shot fast.
Yes. Oh, anything else I say? But no. Before we.
But yeah, no, it's cool, and I like how he doesn't just come back as a pterodactyl ghost. He actually comes back as this new character, and he has this new modus operandi, and I love the callbacks, and I love how they do the screen thing where there's an accomplice, so that they all have an alibi when they get accused.
Yeah, that's funny. This is why this is great writing from James Gunn. Really great writing. We all thought it was going to be Old Man Wickles, because legit, look at what I like about this film too is you actually saw a Scooby-Doo film doing detective work, investigating. The first film we didn't really see that much. It was more focused on you make a movie, monsters. But this one, I'm glad that they legit put this into detective investigative mode. So I like that. Go to haunted.
Yeah,
you had everything from Scooby-Doo. Yeah, a haunted house, an old house, a pier, Old Down Factory. Everything that you saw in the past Scooby Doo series was all here, all location wise. Even the
I
old
agree.
swamp. So I like that. I mean, you saw Coolsville, the city. I like that part. Like, oh, we can take over. Um, but yeah, I say this again. Great film. Like Evil Mask Figure. Like I like the fact that it was a villain, basically that we could not solve. Only the person. Yeah. Again, I didn't expect Doctor Jacobo because it was
Neither
all
did
old men,
I
right?
actually.
So that's why. So good writing to James Gunn, and of course we had the final scene. Ruben Studdard from American Idol doing the dance off. So great.
When you
Yeah.
wish upon a
I'm a
star.
star. I like that part. So great ending for the cast. And sadly, I wanted more. I wished there was a Scooby Doo 3. And I think rumor has it that it was supposed to be focused because the first one focused on monsters
No, no,
or
no. Here's the
creatures.
thing. Here's the thing. I actually did look this up. There was supposed to be a third Scooby Doo movie, but it got canceled.
Yeah, because this didn't make enough money.
Yeah, pretty much.
Um, the thing is, you know what's funny? I bet you that this film franchise would have done better now than before.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
nostalgia now is very popular right now. Look at Sonic.
Mhm.
Even
Yeah.
like look at like I'll say this like yeah legit. But what I like about this movie is it did influence what's in Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
It did.
It influenced Scooby Mission Incorporated. Velma and Shaggy, yeah, it influenced a lot of stuff. That's why this kudos to these two movies. It actually influenced Scooby Doo the next generation.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
without these films, we would not got what Scooby Doo, which in my opinion, is the best Scooby Doo series of all time.
Mhm. Yeah, like what's the Scooby Doo? Like from Jump Street, they kept the character growth from the two live action movies. And in season 2, they did have the Hex Girls actually show up, which means that
Canon, canon.
yeah, even the animated films from the 90s were canon.
Yeah.
Oh
So Scooby,
wow.
where are you? So what's Scooby's basically canon with the so that's what I liked about it.
Yep.
Even the TV movies were good, like
Yeah.
Dracula,
Oh yeah.
Samurai.
Honestly,
Yeah, they're all good.
They were just like not as interesting because they have those supernatural elements like what's it called, that one where like Shaggy turns into a werewolf and he has to be in that race.
Oh yeah, but
I forgot about. I honestly forgot about that.
the El
Or-
Chupacabra.
Also OKKO is also canon because the 5 girls from Ghoul's School actually showed up.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Oh, we need to do a retrospective review, like again of the old Scooby Doo movies. Let's see, but don't worry, guys. Like this October, we're gonna talk more horror films. Actually, next Monday, I'll announce it right now. Next Monday, me and Clement will be talking about a film that scared shit out of me yesterday. So you guys don't know, we'll be reviewing Smile.
Oh no.
good.
I'm not seeing that movie.
I watched
No.
it and holy shit! I mean, my girl.
No. No.
So my girlfriend's mom
Yo,
invited
stop.
me and
Mike,
her to go.
chill.
And oh
Stop.
my god!
Mike.
You
Oh, God, chill.
gotta watch it, bro.
No.
Watch it. Watch it.
You cannot pay me enough to watch this.
Yes.
No.
We happy few like to watch that movie.
Happy few.
No.
Hmm?
No, that's just creepy.
Hmm? Anyway,
No.
so now before we go to comments, scale 1 to 10, what do you rate this film? Starting with copy.
I give this movie, since it's my childhood, a 10 out of 10.
9. It's a solid film, very well done. I mean, like it doesn't have that oomph that like movies that I like. I have a very short list for the 10 out of 10s, very short list. But so like even if a movie gets a 9 out of 10, it's still like a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
This movie's a 9 for me.
I give it a 9.
Yeah.
Same thing. I give it a 9. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I love this film a lot. It's rewatchable. I don't care. They make fun of me. And serious, this film is so rewatchable. If a film was that rewatchable, it's good. Plus, you have good writing. Now, again, there are some problems with some of the direction and pacing, but still, it doesn't hurt tonight. I give it a 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's rewatchable. Like, I like it so much. The characters, yeah, that Fred was not, yeah, but still, you can't deny the love and care that James Gunn and Ryan Gosling gave to this film. It
I
was
agree.
it was a
I'm
love letter.
open to raise it to a 10 if I watch it a few more times and see how I feel about it.
Yeah, like it was a love letter because this film was a love letter to Scooby Doo. Like James Gunn did not cater to any studios. I could tell the first one was kind of catered to some studio, yeah. But I can tell this film was legit from the heart.
Yeah, the
I
first
know
movie.
I'm a huge
Yeah, the first movie felt like they just wanted to sell Lunchables.
yeah Lunchables, but this one felt from the heart.
Yeah.
From the heart. Like they went all out. So I'm kind of sad that now I wish there was a third film. I think the third film. I don't know what the third film. I think if I would make a third film, I would focus on more of the ghosts, supernatural, because we didn't have that paranormal thing yet. This one's more focused on.
Wait. Honestly, and I know this. You guys are. I'm gonna get a lot of critique about this, but I think that episode of Supernatural where they got in.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I love this.
I think that's I believe that's canon now.
Yeah, I want to.
So you're saying Cousin Simple and all the other cousins are dead now?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, look at the first film, we had like creatures, monsters. That's
Pretty
based on like well, you can say paranormal, but I want to see something ghosts, like ghosts, spirits, demons, right? I want that more explored in a Scooby Doo film. Yeah, so so pretty much, yeah. So that's it. Let's go to comments. Says, hey guys, what's up, Thomas?
Hey Thomas.
Now, if you had to, which monster would you like to face the least? Which one?
Black Knight Ghost.
Face the least. Black Knight Ghost too.
For me, it would be the 1,000-volt ghost, because I don't know if you've ever had 1,000 volts run through your body, but that would instantly kill you.
I know, but things just put water in some. Yeah,
Painfully.
Black Knight, you can't even stab him. But yeah.
But I
Black
could
Knight.
dismantle him
Oh yeah.
and kick him in the nads.
Right in the round tables.
Kai has right in the round tables. Up, Shaggy's is god. Yeah, but you talking about a scene. So I like the chemical scene. Remember, they start mixing and drinking stuff. Like Shaggy becomes buff, and then Scooby becomes a professor. Tasmanian Devil makes an appearance.
I got Jake's body.
I got Jake's body. So, yeah. Honestly, that's pretty much it.
Like I said, if I wish there was a third film, and apparently James Gunn was supposed to write it and direct it.
Yeah, so that's why maybe that's why I wish it was a trilogy, because it just doesn't feel complete. I mean, there was technically a prequel, a TV movie, but
On Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I'm like, no, honestly, I watched it. No, be honest, it was okay. Like I watched it, and it was premiere. It was actually okay.
I mainly watched it because Robbie was in it.
Yeah, it was okay. Robin, it was actually not that bad. My only problem was Fred but they did address why in the sequel. But it was actually okay. I enjoyed it. It was not. It didn't suck, but it was watchable. Now it's the problem. That didn't have a third movie, so the third movie is cursed with Scooby Doo. Like shit. Like that didn't even have a third movie. So I don't know. People calling it that was the prequel to this films, but again, so hopefully I don't know. Maybe we can just hope to try, but maybe in the future, maybe they can do a live action Scooby Doo theater and maybe bring them back. I mean, now they're old, they can't do it, but you never know. Look at Halloween Ends. Look at Halloween. You brought back Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis. Anything can happen. So
anything could happen.
So Warner Brothers, please get this cast back at least one more time.
The love of all things holy in this world.
Oh, if they did have a third movie, you know who I want to be a character in the third one?
Who?
Red Herring.
Oh my god, yes. And I do want the Phantom. What that?
Phantom Shadow.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? The Phantom Virus. You should make a film. That's maybe another sequel, like a spiritual sequel to this film. Just like a part 2. We have all the villains from the TV movies, like the Witch's Ghost, the Phantom Virus, the Zombie.
But yeah, I really want Red Herring to be a character, even if he was like a main villain or just like a one-off character. You know, I wanted to say, Fred, you numbskull, I'm not the bad guy.
Yes. All right, so that's pretty much that's.
Honestly, before we end, my favorite quote was Shaggy. This is time with the most terrifying day of my life. So which one? Every other freaking day of my life.
Yes. So yeah, guys, that is Scooby Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed discussion. Thank you guys so much for being part of this podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tomorrow, Batman, like Jacqueline and Leo will be doing Batman Returns. Wednesday, me and my good friend Nadine. Yeah, Nadine's coming back. We'll be discussing the anime film Josie, Tiger, and the Fish. And then Friday, well, Friday's not there. Friday, well, and then next Monday we'll be doing Smile. So 2 more podcasts for Buttery Show this week. Okay. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Closing comments. Where can I find you? Coffee.
Okay, first off, how you guys doing? My name is Michael. I am him. You guys can find me at Red Ranger 2134 and on Twitch at Red Falcon 347. Where Saturday, after I come back from Comic Con, I will be streaming more of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Really?
It wasn't me. My hands were up here the whole time.
I know it was on me. Anyway, where can I find you, Boken?
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. There we go. And you can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto. And yes, tonight I am going to be playing more Bayonetta.
Nice. You can find me Instagram, DancerBoy247. And follow us if you like Power Rangers, follow us at the Morphin Network. So guys, this is the Buttery Show. Thank you guys so much. See you again. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.
And it was good to be back, guys. Thank you.
All right, guys. This is Morphin Network, and we're signing out.
And the Buttery Show.
Scooby Dooby Doo,
where
are you?
We've got
Got
work
to
to
catch
do
you
now.
Scooby Dooby Doo,
Where are you?
Where you shake and shiver.
All right, bye,
You know
guys.
we got a mystery to solve, Scooby Doo. Wait for your act. Don't hold back. Scooby Doo, if you come through, you're gonna have yourself a Scooby attack. Scooby Doo,
where are you? Baby, are you here?
You're not fooling me.
Out of
'Cause
you.
I can't see the way you shake and shiver. Bum bum.
All right.
I know you catch that villain.
What's the Scooby Doo? Where I follow? Okay, bye, guys. See you guys.
See you guys.